Hi, how are you doing? I'm Andy. Welcome, very welcome indeed to Merlin's Mountain. I do hope some of the magic rubs off on you. Let's face it, it usually does. And you guys have usually got some magic working for you anyway to begin with, so all good. Now, I am sorry it's been a little while since I've put a long form video out. I've been working on the shorts because that seems to be the way forward, and oh, I don't know. The world's always changing, isn't it? But we'll do a proper reading today using the Muse Tarot. If I can just stop the cards all from falling about all over the place. What we're going to do is a 5-card pick a card. So we'll take the top 5 cards off the top. Here are your 5 cards. New camera, so I still don't really know if it's left to right or what's going to happen, but we will find out as we go along. Here are your 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So pick one of those, pick 2, 3, 4 of them, pick all 5 of them if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Let your inner psychic decide. So having taken a second to make that decision, let us turn over card number 1. Here we go. It's the Temperance card. Number 14 in the major arcana, so you've got the numerology of 14 there. And the Temperance card it's a very old medieval meaning of the word temperance. It has much to do with balance, of course, but it also has to do with weaving together the divine influences with the influences and, the way life works here on earth in the cold, hard reality of every day. It's not such a cold, hard reality, of course, if you bring the spiritual side of things into life. And that is really why it's such a shame that more people don't follow their spiritual soul, because we have actually all got one. But here we are, Temperance. So the main invitation that's going on in this card is actually to draw the divine a bit closer in. And as always with the Muse Tarot, which is a wonderful deck, there is a little poem going on with every card, so I'm going to read that now. It says, I am the divine weaver of duality. I hold you, I am essence, and our evolution of becoming is rooted in the mixing. Think about that, the evolution of becoming. It is really all about evolution. The planet has evolved. It's all part of the laws of physics. And that's what we're subjected to in this rather crazy world of ours. It is all about the laws of physics, and the divine really seriously is a part of that. As I think I actually said this in the last long form reading video that I did like a week ago or something. Everything that we're made of actually comes from the earth. Even man-made chemicals, stuff that goes on in factories, it all actually comes out of the earth to begin with. There's nothing here that wasn't put here by the creator. All we can do is use it and manipulate it, and we need to use it and manipulate it for the best. That's what's really important here. So take a good long look at the Temperance card. There she is, all about bringing that balance in. And you can see that there's sort of 2 nymphets in the front there, one with the earth and one with the moon. And that really is how it works. We are so much subject to what goes on with the moon and her phases. And, we are 90% water, I believe. I think I got that right. We're mostly water anyway. So we're bound to be pulled by these heavenly bodies, by everything going on cosmically, which really relates so closely to everything going on spiritually. So card number 1, Temperance. Card number 2 is this one. It is the Page of Voices. There we go. Take a look at the Page of Voices. And she's all about curiosity, and that really does actually kick in after we've looked at the Temperance card, because we're interested to find out about these spiritual things that we weave in with the rest of our lives. We can't help feeling that sense of interest. And if you drew this card today, then the thing to do is actually go with your own sense of curiosity. There's nothing wrong with it. Some of the churches teach that it's a great sin to even question anything that the Bible says, or whatever their creed in whatever group it is. You're not supposed to question it, but there's really nothing wrong with questioning it. There's everything wrong with not questioning it. So she's putting her rather special looking glasses on there to try and work out what's going on around her. But she is surrounded with a lot of colours, and of course she's dressed in pink, and this is the higher heart. You know, this is that higher heart chakra feeling of just wanting to interact with things and having a love of life, having a love of the universe. That's where love really kind of comes from, and it's where love does its best work as well. So card 2, the Page of Voices. And the couplet that actually goes with the Page of Voices is this. Let me hold the card up while I read it. It's a nice one, this. Okay. I collect my mixture of spinning thoughts, and I begin to pull them down to earth. I think, I am, I know. So I speak. Oh, how I speak myself into existence. And this is how we speak ourselves into existence, really, by taking that curious approach and actually bringing the divine into our own lives and working with it as our own personal self. So, you know, if you drew this card, you are a really big, important part of the picture. We're all curious in different ways about different things. And what's really going to work for you is what floats your boat, what gets you interested. So there we are. And I should say, by the way, she was the Page of Swords. The suit of voices in the Muse Tarot is the suit of swords. So now we come to card number 3. This is the 3 of emotions. And the suit of emotions is actually the suit of cups, as you might imagine, as you might gather. And the cups are all about what we long for, what we desire, what we want to happen. So essentially we've got the 3 of cups here, and it's actually a very positive card. It's the beginning of a journey, usually, or at least the beginning of a new stage of a journey. You know, if you think of the 2 of cups as what we've really gathered in our life coming along so far, the 3 of cups is where something new comes in and things can really take off. It represents an upward spiral, because as you can see very well represented in this card, this is like a 3-headed being, and there are, you know, not just 3, but it represents the fact that there are multiple aspects and multiple sides to every personality and to everything that we come up against and need to work with in our crazy world. 3 of emotions. And the couplet is, I love our 3 hearts of essence and bubbly things, like the strings of past and present and future, tied to this soul family, because I know you. So there's a thing, soul family. That's a big part of what the 3 of Cups represents, actually. That's the people side of it, you know. If you pick this card, chances are someone is going to come into your life. Something new is going to happen in a very positive way. And if you're not happy with what comes into your life, don't worry. These opportunities come up again and again. You, dear viewer, must decide. That really is how it works. With the 3 of emotions, the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups, 3 of emotions being the middle card of the reading, a lot hinges on it. You know, if you picked all 5 cards particularly, that is what it all hinges on. And I would suggest you take a little bit of notice of all the other cards, even if you only picked one, you know, because the reading comes together for a reason. I don't never know quite what that reason is. That is really an individual thing for you to work out for yourself. So we are past the middle of the reading. We come to this card, and this is card number 4, the Page of Inspiration. This is your immediate future if you actually picked all 5 cards here. And the suit of inspiration is, of course, the suit of wands. I say, of course, I had to look at my cheat sheet because I can never remember these things. But the Muse is a very, very interesting tarot deck. It has a lot to do with the traditional tarot, but it's really out there kind of in its own way. And this is a very out there in its own way card, and it points to the way you can be out there in your own way. But it's also, being the Page of Wands, this cloud, you see, is really important. This beautiful multicoloured cloud. If I come up close, you can take a closer look at it. Just full of ideas, really. And this is kind of ideas zooming around all over the place. Inspiration coming in, most certainly, because it is the Page of Inspiration. But the most important thing is what you do with those ideas. You know, they're coming at us all the time. We talk about, you know, well, we know a fair bit these days about the law of physics, even if we're not actually into physics if we're not actually scientists. So many of us know about the way kind of particles and atoms zoom around, mingling with each other all the time, and they form clusters, and that is what actually creates materials. So what actually creates the inspirational materials, if you like, that make you what you are, all depends on what ideas stick to you, what actually works for you, what do you want to draw it. Excuse me. What do you actually want to draw into your life and make work? We've got a black cat there, if I come up close, see? So there's an element of luck there, and of course there's that whole mystical thing that's symbolized by the black cat, and a fire of creativity. There's a real creative fire going on there. So if you drew this card, there's a lot going on at the moment, particularly in your mind, actually. And the thing to do is try and get something done with it, actually make use of it. Just like in astrology, when we get a difficult alignment with Mars, doing a constructive project will actually make that energy channel itself into something positive and turn it into something positive, you know. There's no like fixed negatives going on anywhere in life, really, and that is very good news. It feels very negative a lot of the time, but everything that happens for a reason, and it all contributes to the big picture. So the page of inspiration there, the page of wands, like any of the pages, you know, there's kind of more needed, and you are the person who can be that extra force that's needed to really make it right, to really make it happen. There is actually a full moon hiding in this card there as well. And that reminds us that these things are a cycle, you know, the full moon comes and goes all the time. So again, just like in the last card, in the Three of Emotions, if you can't make it happen immediately, you can make it happen sometime. And whatever's going on at the moment in your life, all this inspiration that's coming into you is actually going to be a part of something that happens eventually. It doesn't have to happen right this minute, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. It's a cycle. Just like Grandmother Moon goes round and round, this opportunity will come again if you don't go with it right now, because you will actually know where you want to go. You will have a firm idea at some point. A lot of people give up on ever having a firm idea of anything, particularly when we're, you know, confronted with all this energy and all these different ideas. But really, there always comes a slow time, a quiet time. Even the busiest people have kind of 10 minutes in bed before they fall asleep at night. And so you will actually get that time when those ideas can just come down in front of you, like watching credits actually at the end of a TV show. All those ideas just come down and you can finally make sense of them. So there's card number 4, the page of inspiration, the page of wands. And I shall read the couplet, the poem that goes with the page of wands, the page of inspiration. Inside my mind, this cosmic I'll start again. Inside my mind, this cosmic spark and all the lines of light, a code that dives deep in the dark with radiant shards of sight. Okay. So now we come to our outcome card, the final card, the 5th card of this 5-card spread, and we are back in the major arcana, just like we started off with Temperance. Now we're here with the Star, number 17, and there's a different outlook here. There really is. Things are looking in a kind of different direction, but that's the nature of the reading. It goes on from start to finish. Can you see this lady? She's sending her thoughts out to the universe. Being a spiritualist medium, I very often ask people to send their thoughts out to their loved ones. I did it last night, actually. It was a great service with Georgie's Angels, a Scottish group. We had some fun. Sammy and I did that on Zoom, and it was great fun. You can travel to Scotland on Zoom while sitting in your armchair. Absolutely wonderful. So we had some fun with that. And yeah, you know, we ask people to send their thoughts out to their loved ones, because it's always a two-way thing. What you want to bring in from the universe, it depends on what you put out to the universe as well, you know. Doesn't mean that they don't have loved ones in the spirit world. It just brings them a whole lot closer, a whole lot quicker if they send their thoughts out. And so things are going to be accelerated for you, friends, if you do what the Star is doing here and sending her thoughts out. She looks kind of worried, doesn't she? I think we all do, and this represents some of the concerns we have on the spiritual journey. Are we doing it like properly in some way? And I don't think there's any right or wrong way to do it, actually, but we do worry. Are we getting it right? Are we doing it properly? What's our spirit guide's name? That kind of thing. We find out when we need to. The star is just, it's an invitation to try and be your best self, really. Maybe to take some time in nature, maybe to take some time doing whatever you feel you need to do, as long as it's actually something that's calculated to bring you something positive, And when I say calculated, something you think is actually going to work for you. You know the best places for you to go to find peace. If you haven't been there for a long time, if it seems impossible to get there, well, try and go there in your mind. It's a mental journey. It really is. That is totally the nature of the star. Okay, so the couplet with the star: emerge, sweet light, the starlight calls, emerge with dream alive, and fill your sky with hope enthrall, bright, wishful trust arrive. So, bright, wishful trust, that would be a wonderful thing to draw in, would it not? I'm just going to add a little something to this reading. I'm going to bring out the Chakra cards by Rachel Sharman. I'm just going to cut the deck and we'll see what comes out. Okay, oh, right. Interesting, and this does seem to have been a bit of a theme for this reading. Can you guess what it is? Okay, this is kind of one card for everyone. Number 21, communication. This is very like what was going on in the start. In fact, it's very like what was going on in a lot of the cards in today's reading. You can see these two minds coming together, really, and you could say coming back together, because it was once said, and it's a very true thing, actually, or really represents the truth, I think, of spirituality and bringing the divine into our lives, that God came to earth as a glass sphere, hit the earth and smashed, and we are the fragments trying to come back together again. And that's why communication is so important. It's indigo, so it's all about the third eye. And you can see they're kind of communicating out of their third eye. But the information is coming from all around their heads as they try and bring that together. So there you go. Whichever card you pick today, there's a little bit of extra insight for you there, friends. Use your intuition. Use that third eye. I know we all try to, but it's an easy thing to take for granted. At some point in your meditation, although it's always good to kind of meditate with an open mind just because you're going to see what comes, at some point as you're going into a meditation, just, focus on that third eye. It looks back at you in love. It's a wonderful thing, the third eye. It looks inwards and it works with your pineal gland. And so just focus on that, Try and make that a part of your meditation. And you should get a fair bit further with that. And with that, I'm going to say thank you very, very much for watching, friends. It's always good to have you with me. Again, sorry there haven't been many of these long-form videos, but we're getting there. New camera is sorted out. All the shorts seem to be working out reasonably well. I've got to do some tweaking there and try and make them better. It's always good to try and make things better, really, whatever you're doing, whatever the things actually are. Do please follow me on social media if you haven't already. I'll put the links down in the description to my Facebook and my Instagram and my TikTok as well. TikTok seems to be taking off. It's a lot of fun, TikTok, actually. And, it's not just kind of 30-second videos, although I do put them out, just kind of almost just a sound bite or, a video bite, a picture bite. But, it does actually work that way. But we can put long ones out there. I think I did about a 7-minute video. You can go live on there as well. I haven't tried that yet. But it's a whole lot more fun than YouTube, if I'm really honest. And it's kind of catching up in terms of its kind of spiritual worthiness. So do check me out on TikTok. If you'd like a private reading, my email address is also down in the description. It is 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com. I will look forward to hearing from you. Meanwhile, please drop a like on this one if you've enjoyed it. Why not hit the subscribe button? There's more coming all the time. Leave me a comment, we'll share the journey, and maybe you'd like to tell me what cards you picked. Maybe you'd like to tell me anything. That's what the comments are for, sharing the journey. So thanks ever so much, friends. Take good care of yourselves. Love and light to you. Blessings and peace.